Welcome back, Fantasy Football fam. Garrison here with my buddies Mason and Tedder.
What's good?
Mason was able to make the trip down. It snowed a little bit yesterday. We were a little worried, but he's able to make it.
He's here.
Yeah.
Broke out the cross-country skis.
Oh, yeah. Man, that sounds kind of fun.
Brought him up.
Tiring, though. So this week, we're going to be doing a little bit of friend or foe. We're going to talk about some players and kind of classify them as to whether they're a friend or a foe. And so I'm going to start off. We're going to go with Leonard Fournette, who just had an awesome week. I believe we can all officially classify him as a friend, getting a lot of work on a great offense. He's averaging over 22 touches a game over the last 3 weeks. I'm friending that guy.
Nice. I am too. I think that's a valuable friend with where you got him in the draft as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You want to know who else I'm friending?
Who?
Kirk Captain Cousins.
Oh, really?
My old football team man.
Okay.
I saw him come up from there. He throws the ball a lot, and he's a great streaming option this year. What about you, Tedder?
Yeah, this guy would be a first-round pick if I was in 5th grade playing recess football. Joe Burrow. Great receivers, and like FedEx, the man continues to deliver. So, what about you, Garrison?
I got Derek Carr, and you know what? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Derek Carr.
Okay.
You know, maybe getting rid of Gruden will help, but he's like an average fantasy quarterback, you know? And I don't know if that makes him a friend or not.
His team is winning.
His
right?
team's doing
So
okay.
far.
Yeah. But, yeah, what about, you got another guy too, Mason?
Jonathan Taylor, I'm feeling the best friendly with.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm feeling like I want to take him over to my parents' house for a sleepover if I can.
Definitely.
We all know Jonathan Taylor's killing it. Certified baller.
Facts. Big facts.
How about you, Tedder?
Yeah, we're going over to the Carolinas, Chuba Hubbard. He's a French friend. He's a fringe friend. Goodness gracious. He's a guy, you know, last on the birthday invitation list. You know, he's known for giving good gifts. So you kind of going to keep him in your lineup. He's not doing the same thing that Mike Davis did last year, but I'm thinking he's due for a breakout game. So Chuba Hubbard, you invited to the birthday party.
You invited. You're probably playing, but, you know, who knows how long that's going to last.
Yeah.
I'll bring you a good gift.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about Mike Davis. Speaking of Mike Davis.
Okay.
And, you know, who knows with Mike Davis? Like, I like him. You know, I want to be friends with him.
Yeah.
But he just really ain't quite delivering the way you want him to.
He's a weak steep.
He's a mini steeper, I believe. Yeah, he's getting a decent work, has a high floor, but Patterson is just really making things complicated over there.
Yeah,
who you got over?
The pass catching. I have a friend, me.
Ooh.
A guy who's just an amazing player on a very stacked team. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Mike Evans. 1 week you get 5, 1 week you get 25. What are you getting from Mike this week? I'm frenemying him, but also starting him every week. What about you, Tedder?
Moving on, Donovan Peoples-Jones out of Cleveland. He's a 1 week friend. Last week he really benefited from that Hail Mary going into halftime. So even then, if it wasn't for that, I don't even know if he'd be invited to the birthday party. But going into this week, the Browns have really no one, so he may be a friend this week. So who knows? But other than that, not coming to the birthday party, Donovan. I'm sorry.
He's like that friend that, like, nobody else is in town.
Yeah.
You're bored.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna call up Donovan.
Yeah, he's got like a PS5. So like, hey, man.
We can play some games. I'll play a game of Apex or two.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle is like that friend that, you know, is just hanging out with the wrong people, man.
Yes.
You're like, you really want to be friends with him, but, man, that team's not very good.
What's with his crowd?
Yeah, it's this crowd. It's like, I don't... If I invite him, the entire Miami Dolphins are coming.
Yeah, we don't want that. That's a lot of mouths to feed.
You gotta play him, obviously,
Yes.
but man, he could do so much better on a different team.
Yes.
And Arkin with Noah Fant, his garbage time friend.
Yes.
So he's the friend you want on the truck with you when you're picking up the big hauls. The Broncos are in garbage time, whether they're destroying teams or getting destroyed. So Noah Fant's going to put it on in those minutes.
Yeah, long road trip. You know, Noah Fant's going to be in the back seat wide awake. So he's cool to have on road trips. I guess moving on, Myles Gaskin. He's a nemesis. Every week, it's a different story with him. He'll blow up 1 week, and then he'll go hiding the next. He's a great hide-and-seek friend if you're trying to win, and, you know, you need someone on your team for that. But a guy that's going to show up, you never know. So he's pretty much a crapshoot each week. So
I agree.
So,
yeah, for sure. Another guy that is on the same team, we talked about a few guys, Mike Gesicki. You know, he's like that friend that, like, really like rubbed you the wrong way when you first met him, but you like kind of warm up to him, like, oh, this guy's just kind of a little weird. But like,
giving him a chance.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're giving him a chance now. You know, he had a goose egg in week 1, but he's just been getting like better and better to his back.
Yeah, he brings what, like peanut butter and jelly on wheat bread to school for lunch.
Yeah, wheat bread.
Gasicki.
What are you, 30?
Maybe. Anyways.
And then I'm friending my last week blurb, Khalil Herbert. You want to be friends with him, but you're just not sure what he'd bring into the table. There's going to be a crowded backfield in Chicago.
Yeah.
Not too long. A few weeks, we have 3 good running backs. So.
Right.
We're going to see. But for now, friend this guy. He's gonna have some good moments.
Definitely.
Yeah, moving on. I got Marvin Jones. Not sure about this guy. You know, he's kind of that class clown that seems funny, but whenever he's out in the hallways, you're like, oh, I'm not really sure about him. He's had some cool games, some great games, and then other games he's kind of been irrelevant. So not really sure on Marvin Jones, but, you know, if you need a friend to fill in, give it a shot. You never know. Marvin might surprise you. So.
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of weird.
Not this one.
He's a little bit weird.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Darrell Williams. He's like a trial basis friend. You know, you're giving him a chance.
Yeah.
He seems like he's pretty good, but, you know, who knows? He might actually end up, you know, being a staple after CEH comes back. If he continues to do what he's doing, for sure. He might continue to get those goal line touches. So, you know, you're feeling kind of good if you got Darrell Williams. But, yeah, we'll see.
Don't pull out the rug from Henry Ruggs this year. He's fantasy relevant, unlike last year. But who knows what you're going to get out of him. Hopefully a touchdown, but maybe not. Carr doesn't always hit him with the car.
Yeah. He's having a hard time over there.
For real.
He missed him on a lot of deep passes.
Yeah, but he's great. So.
And I'm moving on to another Washington football team player, J.D. McKissick. Starting to become a good friend of mine. Very reliable. Antonio Gibson is dealing with a stress fracture, so JD's going to be that dude. He's that dude that you want to hang out with. He's a dude that has the pantry full of sweet snacks and all the latest gaming stations. So JD, I'm coming over next week.
Yeah. Can we come too?
Yeah, y'all can come.
Okay.
Thank God.
Sure, you can come.
Awesome. I'm gonna talk about a little Christian Kirk.
Ooh, Christian Kirk.
Yeah, and I feel like he's like that dude that you keep around just like make fun of for a little bit. You guys got that friend?
Make fun of how much cooler he is than you.
I do have a friend like that.
No, I think honestly, I don't have any friends like that. I don't make fun of my friends. Actually, I make fun of all of my friends.
And if we don't have a friend like that, we are probably that friend.
We're probably that friend.
So
former friend. Current former friend.
Yeah, seriously. We used to be friends, but I make fun of him too much. You don't know what you're going to get from Christian Kirk, you know, especially with Ertz joining. So, like, I don't really know, you know. Probably can't drop him because he's been doing good these last couple of weeks. But, yeah, he's one of those guys.
He's unlike Ramondre Stevenson, who's just that shady friend that you don't know if you can trust.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, what is he doing in his spare time? Why?
Yeah, every time he comes over, you're missing a football card here.
Why is he so shifty? You don't know it's him. It might have gone missing on its own, but you always question.
Yeah.
But if it goes missing, you're probably blaming him.
Keep an eye on him. But he's a Patriots running back, so really.
Yeah, I mean, if he fumbles again, who knows what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, moving on. Emmanuel Sanders, the big homie, as I call him, and he's a friend of this guy. And anyone who's a friend of this guy is a friend of mine. They love him in Buffalo. Josh Allen loves throwing him the football. So yeah, Emmanuel Sanders. Don't even have to ask. You're like family to me now. Come on over, bud.
If in Wyoming, if you're friends with Josh Allen, you're friends with all of Wyoming.
Yes. So yeah, who's next?
So I'm gonna talk about a guy who's just my friend,
okay.
You know, and probably only my friend.
Yeah.
Latavius Murray.
Hey, my firstborn.
Okay, so he's got two friends. We like Latavius. The thing about Latavius is there's just too many people there. He's obviously the lead back is what we thought he was gonna be. Mm-hmm. But he's just, I mean, you don't feel confident about starting him, really. And we'll see if that changes going forward. But I just don't know for now.
Same goes for OBJ, Todell himself, Beckham Jr. Foe by association. Browns are kind of foes unless they're now hurt running backs. Or both the running backs out now?
Both of them.
Duke Johnson Jr. is your new friend. And over there, I don't know if you want to touch the receivers for now.
I'm not even sure about D'Ernest, man. Like I have no idea what to expect because Baker's out too. Like
Oh, Baker's out too.
Yeah, Case Keenum hasn't been a thing for years.
Yeah.
Hey, they have Case.
They have Case.
Ooh,
Yeah, so we'll
I like
see.
Case.
I mean, Who knows?
Maybe the Browns are turning their season around.
Who knows?
Yeah, next up, I got a couple of guys that they're not fun to hang out with at the same time, but if you get them separate, they're a blast. And that's Zach Ertz and Goddard. They're no longer a tandem in Philadelphia. Zach Ertz is moving to the South, the old South with the Cardinals, who might have been a tight end one over this. I think Kyler's got a new best friend he's going to like throwing to. And, Dallas Goddard is going to be the guy now in Philadelphia. So
Simplifies things.
new friends. Good friends.
They're not fighting all the time anymore, ruining every outing.
Exactly. Like two siblings. One's going off to college, and one's, becoming a senior in high school, so they can kind of do their own thing now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
For sure, I agree, yeah.
What about you?
We're going to finish up here with Mecole Hardman, he's the guy that everybody else likes, but I'm just not feeling him, man.
I'm not feeling him either.
Like you might like him, but I just don't see the value. Like he had one week with a bunch of targets, and every other week it's been 5 or less.
Yeah, he's a pretty manipulative friend.
Yeah,
Superficial.
Serious.
Surface friend.
Mecole, we ain't feeling you.
We're not, dude.
So that was all of our friends, foes, nemesises, and shady homies that we don't necessarily want to hang out with. We're gonna move on to our Dream Stream. Dream Stream. So, Tedder, want to start off with our QBs this week?
Yeah, we got a pair of QBs that are actually going against each other this week. Both valuable, because both are going against defense that are pretty much god-awful. So you got Matt Ryan with the Falcons and Tua Tagovailoa. I think I got that right. I might have butchered it a little bit.
I can't get his name right.
Sounds correct.
But he's going against the Falcons defense, who's not scary either. And Tua looked really good last week over in London. And Matt Ryan's coming off a bye, so I like both quarterbacks this week.
Yeah, Matt Ryan's really warming up, too.
Yeah, he looks like. So if you need a quarterback because you have a guy on a bye, go get one of these two. I don't think you can be wrong really either way.
He learned how to find Kyle Pitts, that's for sure. Stream that guy. And I'm going to talk about our running back. It's kind of barren wasteland as far as running backs go. So we tried to find somebody that might be available in your league, and we talked about him a little earlier. Ramondre Stevenson. We don't know if you can trust him, but if you need a running back, I think this is the week to do it. Everybody's on bye, and he hasn't fumbled since week 1 yet. And so he got 3 receptions last week. We'll see. If you really need a running back, I kind of like Ramondre Stevenson. Damian Harris is dealing a little bit with an injury. So, yeah, this might be the week to stream him. All right, so next up, we're going to do some wide receivers. Mason, you want to talk about a couple guys we got for our Dream Stream?
I sure will talk about Marquez Callaway as one of the guys for my Dream Stream.
Okay.
If you can grab him, he's a touchdown machine. So far hasn't proven anything else. He has some amazing catches this year. I think those are going to continue, but they might be a little hit or miss. And then we have the Bait Man.
The Bait Man.
The Bait Man.
Man, sounds like a superhero.
Rashad.
That does some questionable things.
Bateman,
Yeah.
the rookie that's on Baltimore. He's going to be looking nice. Got 6 targets last week. So
4 catches for 19 yards.
Yeah, nothing huge yet, but look
First
to
game?
Dream Stream him.
Yeah, and I think he might be good season long, potentially.
I think so.
Yeah, I think if he's out there, you should grab him no matter what.
He is the Bait Man. So.
He is the Bait
Who do we have from Tedder?
Ricky Seals-Jones, another Washington football team player. Similar to Darren Waller, he's an ex-receiver. He's got great breakaway speed for his size, and he can be a matchup nightmare if, Heineke can give him the football. So he's got 15 targets in the last 2 weeks, and the Packers defense isn't that scary, at least in the secondary. And at the linebacker position, it's the outside backers that do most of the guarding of the tight end. So Ricky Seals-Jones, if you need a tight end, you got a guy on a bye, go grab him. So, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It's 15 targets for a tight end over 2 weeks. Pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to move on. Those were our Dream Streams. Next, we're going to do Fantasy Awards.
Mid-season Fantasy Awards.
Mid-season, so these might change by the end.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got our award here. We are going to do first the MVPH, the most valuable pale horse. Going to go to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, you get the MVPH award.
Come on, Derrick.
Unfortunately, Derrick could not
out.
be here today.
Oh.
So Tedder's going to be accepting it on his behalf.
All right.
So,
Even better.
On behalf of Derrick Henry, we just like to thank the Titans organization, that the front line that's been doing a hell of a job opening up a bunch of holes for me. And, I just want to bless my God-given talent for being so damn good. So thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So kind of moving on, we're going to give away our Best Value Award. We're giving it to Mike Williams, receiver out of the old LA Chargers. And he couldn't be here either, so Mason's going to accept the award on his behalf.
Oh my gosh. Here you
I
go.
guess. I mean, it's no surprise that I'm receiving this award. I am Mike Willie,
Mike Willie.
and I know what to do with the football when it's deep and thrown hard my direction. I put it in the end zone, except for last week. But now that I'm on bye, I'll bring it for you guys next week when I'm all healthy.
You're still the 4th best receiver in fantasy. So you deserve that.
Not bad at all, not bad. But we have another award to give.
Really?
Yes, for worst value.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm going to have to award the worst value to Miles Sanders and Allen Robinson, who both happen to be with us today.
Yeah, right here. I'm gonna accept this for both Miles Sanders and Allen Robinson, the most unstartable players in fantasy football right now. We couldn't do it without our terrible organizations and our terrible offense. Oh my goodness. We are bad.
Yeah.
All right, so next up, we're going to do our Best Rookie Award. We're going to give that to Najee Harris.
Oh, Najee.
Where is he?
Doing
Where
great.
is he hiding?
Hasn't scored less than 19 points since week 1. Come on out, Najee. Oh, wait. No, Najee couldn't be here either.
Damn it.
Tedder, you want to accept it for
Yeah,
Najee?
I'll accept that.
Okay.
On behalf of the SEALs organization and Big Ben's noodle arm, I now accept this award because I average about 15 catches a game and I run the ball. So I'm looking to be the next Christian McCaffrey, so they need to be careful with me because I'm not trying to be injured every year following my rookie year. So thank you, Pittsburgh, sorry, for putting me in that predicament.
You know Pittsburgh don't care about overworking their running backs.
They don't. All right, moving on to our
Until they have to pay
surprise Bouse Award. I don't think anyone would have guessed this guy. Cooper Kupp.
Ooh, Cooper.
Come on down, Cooper.
Cooper.
Oh, wait. Yeah, he's not here either. So, Mason, please, for Cooper Kupp.
I'd like to say that this was not expected, but I'm scoring the most fantasy points for receivers this year, so I am a bouse.
Surprise boss.
Open your eyes to Matthew Stafford, my quarterback. He's going to continue throwing it to me all year. And I have a feeling some people are going to predict me to score a lot of fantasy points this week.
We just might. We just might.
But then I have another award too. A steeper award.
Steeper.
A steeper. Going to Tim Patrick for the Denver Broncos.
Let's go, Tim.
With an honorable mention of Hunter Renfrow for a division rival team on the Raiders. But Tim, he's sitting with me. I get to touch him first and then hand him the award.
I'm Tim Patrick and Hunter Renfrow for the day. And you know what? I think we worked super hard. We came in, we stepped up.
And you steep.
And we steeped. We got you like 10 to 15 points regularly, okay? We the steep boys.
Steep boys?
Steep coming cheap.
I'm just going to set this over here. Keep it nice and safe.
Nice round of applause for our award.
Yeah, can we give an applause for all of our wonderful award winners besides Miles Sanders and Allen Robinson?
All right.
Okay, so we are actually going to move on to our sure thing and positional leaders. So far, sure things, Mason killing it 4-1.
Here you go, Mace.
Tedder just slipped down to 2-3. And, you know, I'm right back to my old ways. Can't get a sure thing. I'm 1-4, but I did get 1. So I'm going to hold on to that. And then we're also going to do our positional leaders. We're doing... so right now we're at the same. Nobody got any last week. Mason and Ted are at 2. I'm at 1.
It's proven to be tough.
It's pretty tough because you never know.
We get second a lot.
Yeah, second, third. So you're going to start off with our sure thing.
It's a sure thing, bud.
And I'm going to go first. I'm going to go with the Colts plus 4.5 versus the 49ers. And then my positional leaders are going to be at QB, Kyler Murray versus the Texans. Running back, Derrick Henry versus Kansas City. Wide receiver, Cooper Kupp versus Detroit. And my tight end is going to be Travis Kelce versus Tennessee. Tedder, who you got for your sure thing in positional leaders?
My sure thing is I got Tennessee to actually cover the spread of -5.5 and to upset Kansas City. I think Derrick Henry's going to have a monster day, and I think Tennessee's coming off a high after beating the Bills on Monday Night Football. So we're going to keep that train rolling.
Kansas City going in the toilet, according to
Yeah, going in the old toilet.
Well, you don't like Kansas City?
I don't like Kansas City at all, if you haven't noticed that. If you haven't caught on, catch up. Quarterback-wise, I'm going Kyler Murray, similar to old Garrison over there, going against the Texans. Then, surprisingly, I'm going Derrick Hennessy Henry, going against the old Chiefs, just like Garrison. And then finally, Cooper Kupp. Sorry, not finally, but wide receiver Cooper Kupp are going against the Lions, just like Garrison.
He's cheating off me.
And this is where we split, like Paul Walker and Vin Diesel.
Okay.
I go Kyle Pitts against the old Miami Dolphins this week at the tight end position.
Right, so these are a little different.
A little bit different, yeah.
I need to catch up to you on one, so hopefully it's Travis Kelce that comes through.
Yeah, what about you
Don't let me
guys?
see your answers. I don't want those. They stink. I will go with my sure thing first. And I have Carolina beating the Giants by more than 3 points.
All right.
They're a 3-point favorite in New Jersey, wherever the hell that stadium is.
Nobody knows where they're going.
I think they're going to turn things around this week. After 3 losses, they're the better team out of those two. For my positional leaders, I have Tyreek against the Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee.
Scoring the most points.
Tennessee.
I have tight ends Darren Waller. I want to go back on him against the Eagles. I'm going to get Waller one of these weeks.
D. Wally.
And then I get Derrick Henry against him 2 weeks ago against KCT.
Yeah.
And then Patrick Mahomes against Tennessee.
Right.
So
A little different than ours.
for my quarterback. Yeah, a little bit different.
There's
Got
a
some
theme here.
Chiefs.
Anytime
Got a
we can
Titan.
use Derrick Henry, we're going to use
Yeah.
Derrick Henry.
If he's available, we're taking him.
You have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
It's the king.
You have to.
Don't be dumb.
Great. So those were our sure things and positional leaders. We're going to move on to a go deep interview here. So I'm going to
Who's coming to the set? Who's coming to the set?
Papa Thaxton's coming through.
Papa
Papa
T.
GT.
Yeah, Galand Thaxton,
Welcome.
University of Wyoming football player.
Let's go.
San Diego and Atlanta Falcon football player.
Let's go.
He's going to come and talk about a little bit of fantasy. Awesome. So we'll be right back after the interview, and these guys will say bye to you along with me. Mm-hmm. Great. So we have my father, Galand Thaxton, here in for an interview. He is a part of our Go Deep League. 2-time Hall of Fame Thaxton. We actually have his jersey chilling back here for the whole season so far. So yeah, Dad, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Enjoying playing fantasy. I'm in 2 leagues for the first time this year, so I'm enjoying both of them. So
Cool. Yeah, it's good to have you. We
Thank
needed
you.
a lot of people, so it's good to have like a lot of different types of people. You know, you got you, and then some of my friends from the West Coast, and some other people from around here. It's good to get a nice mixture. Mm-hmm. So how are you enjoying the deep? You like the rule settings and?
yeah, I do like it. I'm still learning about it. You know, my other fantasy league is in CBS, and this one is in ESPN, so they're a little bit different. So learning the intricacies of the app and so forth I'm still learning, but I think it's pretty good. I think we're all pretty much in the same boat. We have some good players, we have some injuries, and we have some players that aren't doing as well as we thought they would do. So it's sort of fun. I'm surprised that I have the record that I have right now at 4-2. But the one loss that I have is to Jackson Bailey, and I don't like that at all. I hate losing anything to Jackson because when I see him, he's going to talk trash.
Oh, you know he's going to talk trash.
Right.
He probably
Yeah.
talks the most trash.
He will. He'll talk trash about how he got me. So, and that's for the rest of our lives. So, if I live another 30 years, he'll remind me of
You're
that.
never going
That's
to be
right.
able to forget
That's right.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are doing pretty good. I know. I think you're right. Everybody's kind of in a similar area. I think we got a lot of 4-2 teams, a lot of 3-3 around there. So nobody's dominating too much, is what it seems like.
No, it'll be fun to see what happens down the stretch, especially as injuries, take a hold of some of the good players. I've lost a couple of players last week with Kareem Hunt, and another one went down, and so trying to find somebody to fill that void was very, very difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping and praying that who I picked up will at least help me out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you have to make so many adjustments.
Yeah,
Like, I think I might be playing Kendrick Bourne this week. And,
Yeah.
ain't nobody want to play Kendrick Bourne.
I don't even know who Kendrick Bourne is.
There
so.
you go. I mean, and you wouldn't know about him unless you're in a deep, deep league. Yeah, that kind of comes with it.
Yeah.
So when you go into like a fantasy draft, how do you like to approach it? How do you like to prepare for it?
Well, I do look at a lot of ESPN, and being that you're my son, every time I come home, the NFL station is on, okay? And so they're always talking about fantasy stuff. And so I've been listening to that kind of stuff. And, I actually just got into fantasy football a few years ago. I was in some leagues a long time ago when they first started, but then I got out of it. It wasn't my interest. But this time around, it's been really, really fun. I won my league last year, and so joining another league is pretty good. Joining your league, when you asked me to do that, I was looking forward to that as well. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you usually just go off of like what you can hear from other people, like who the good players are. I know you were asking me about some advice before.
Yeah.
And I hope I helped you with some hitting on some players. I'm sure I steered you wrong in a couple places.
Well, it's something about the drafts that sort of get me, I have a plan going into the draft, but most of the time I don't work my plan. I get confused and people start grabbing folks and, you get a little bit, maybe not nervous, but sometimes you can get out of whack. And so, you take somebody probably a little bit too early and so forth. But I think I did all right with the people who were available at the time of my turn, at the draft. But I kind of explained to you before we started, I hate being in the middle of the draft. I would rather be at the end of it, or at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because of the reverse order drafting, You
do get a lot of time to think about your next pick, and then you don't have you have two guys, and there's not a lot of opportunities for somebody to take those guys.
And being in the middle, you're just stuck right in the middle, and so I was in that position in both my drafts this year, which made it a little bit difficult. And so, being 4-2 in this one, and I'm 500, 3-3 in the other one. And so, I would like to move up in the draft, either the first or to the last pick in the draft.
Yeah, you ever try to trade your draft pick?
No, in the league I have right now, we just do a random order every time. And so I don't know if we'll do that for next year or anything, but or they'll flip a coin or something.
Sometimes leagues don't even allow you to trade, Some people don't like it. Mm-hmm. So you played football, NFL.
Yeah.
Is it kind of hard to go from like looking at things from a football perspective and then starting to look at them from a fantasy football perspective?
It absolutely is. You can see what those GMs actually face, in the NFL. That things that you don't think about as a player, because really what you're trying to control as a player is being the best teammate you can be. And then not only that, doing the best job that you can do out there on the field. And so, you're pretty limited as far as what your impact is on the team.
What you can control.
What you can control on the team. But, as it relates to being a general manager, I tell you, that's very hard because you got to look at so many aspects, when you're trying to draft, and then that talent that you want may not be available at the time. So you have to make, split decision calls like you talked about in the draft earlier that, may or may not work out for you. So it's much, much more difficult to be a GM than it is to be a player.
Yeah.
And it's much more difficult to be a coach than it is to be a player because you have so many other things that you have to think about.
Players kind of get to focus on one thing.
Absolutely.
They're more, obviously it's more physically demanding, but there's a lot more going on in the background.
Yeah. What I like doing the most is playing now. Okay. I love playing football, but that passed you by. But but this is this is fun to be able to do this, and whoever came up with it, they were genius.
Really, they are. And it's really grown.
It's
a huge industry
tremendously.
now.
Yeah, and that's what makes football what it is.
A lot of people wouldn't be watching if it wasn't for
absolutely.
fantasy.
Yeah.
So, who are your favorite fantasy football players right now? I know you like Josh. We all like Josh around here.
That's right. We all like Josh. Josh is a beast, right? And I knew he was going to be a beast going into it. So I'm so glad. He's a hard worker, and I'm proud of him, what he's doing in the NFL. You know, MVP candidate, and so Josh is one of my people. But you know who else is doing really well that surprised me, especially coming off the injury that he came off from last year, is Dak Prescott.
Oh yeah.
What he's doing, the numbers he's putting up, and what he's doing for his team and leading that team, he's been definitely. I believe should be one of the top MVP candidates they should be talking about as well.
I love Dak. I think he's really good.
Yeah. On the other end, I'm surprised that the Washington football team is not doing as well as I thought they would do.
Their defense.
The defense is
sad.
not performing to their expectations. And so that's been a little surprising for me. And as far as everybody else, still Tom Brady's is still putting up those numbers as though he's still a young man, and he's just been phenomenal. He's always he's definitely the GOAT as far as I'm concerned.
I mean,
for him to do the things that he's doing, and then the usual suspects of Patrick Mahomes and so forth. They're doing what they're supposed to be. But my surprise would probably be Dak Prescott.
Yeah, he really came back strong.
Oh man, he came back really, really nicely. Yeah.
All right, Dad. So we've got your go deep draft order up, and so how do you kind of feel about how your draft went? Like, what are your favorite players? How do you think it went so far?
You know what? I had a dilemma when I came to my first pick. At 7, being in the middle of the pack there, because. Being that this is a tight end driven league, I really thought about the tight end from the Raiders going at my first pick, and when it came down to it, Tyreek Hill was available, and actually he's been a beast. I mean, he's been killing in our league, and so I'm glad I just made that decision because Waller hasn't been doing as good. I think they're keying on him a little bit more this season, and so he's not having the impact that he did last season. So I'm glad I took Tyreek Hill at that position. But in the same token, I'm also glad that Hunter Henry was available. I think he's sort of a sleeper. He's been doing fairly well for me in this league. And the reason why I took him is because who he's playing for and the premium that they put on tight ends, that's the New England Patriots. And so he's done pretty good for me. And so that was a pretty good draft. Justin Jefferson was another good pick for me. He hasn't played. Early on, he didn't play as good. He had some injuries.
He had a slow start.
But he started to pick it up now.
But having those two as your top wide receivers, that's a good situation.
It's good. Now, the only really disappointing one has been Myles Gaskin. Actually, I know his dad. I played football with his dad in Denver when we were in Little League, and went to school with him. And so I picked Myles up last year knowing that was there. Nobody knew about him at that time. And he did really good for me and before he got hurt last year. So I thought he would be a better pickup. I'm hoping that he will come around,
Yeah, he's kind of a hard one because I think he's good. It's just the team he's playing for. They're struggling.
That's true.
They can't really get the ball going on the ground.
I think as their quarterback comes back, Tua, and gives this a little bit more threat for the pass, I think would be good. And, they're talking about trades, but we were talking about earlier, maybe trading him and maybe even getting Deshaun Watson, which would probably help his numbers a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Kareem Hunt has been a beast for me.
Yeah, I know. I was so sad.
Yeah.
I have him in one of my leagues, and he was such a stud.
He's been a beast. Even when Chubb wasn't injured, he was still doing pretty good.
Top 6 running back because he scored so many touchdowns.
Yeah, so I thought that was good. And then I've had several injuries. Michael Gallup went down early in the season.
Yeah.
And so that's been a disappointment.
Sterling Shepard went out.
Yeah. So I was having some injury problems, but I was still winning.
Yeah, I know.
So that was good,
Definitely.
Ronald Jones has been a disappointment for me, and Jared Cook I haven't played yet. Zach Wilson hasn't come around yet, and good thing I haven't had to play. I don't know if he will come around. Yeah.
Yeah, who you got in your quarterback slot right now?
I took the young fella because I thought that he would come around. He was playing really well last year, and that was Joe Burrow. And he's been actually coming around really good.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so I'm liking what he's doing. And the team is being successful as well. So the more, more he plays, more confidence he gets. I think he's going to be really good.
He's got that really talented wide receiver core there.
Yeah,
so definitely a good quarterback
Mm-hmm.
to have. And I definitely don't think you should even think about playing Zach Wilson
Well,
right now.
I'm gonna have to at some point or drop him or something. But I'll have to check and see.
I might see who's on the waivers first. That dude's throwing picks left and right.
And so, Valdez Scantling, he's been injured.
I know you stole him from me.
did
I
steal
wanted
him,
him
yeah.
so bad in
Yeah,
that league.
he hasn't been doing that well anyway. But hopefully he'll come back and be all right. And then O.J. Howard, he filled in pretty good for Gronk when he's been down. So, I haven't had to play either one of them. And so they're on my bench, and Jared Cook is as well. So, I think my team is all right. I don't know how far I can go. Like you said, this is a pretty even league, It just depends on whose players are hot, I think, at the time. And I think that's been my case in my wins, is that I've had a few players get hot,
Right.
You
have like 2 or 3 players go off, and
Yeah.
then you just win because it's hard to, you're getting like 100-something points, and it's hard to get like over 150.
Yeah,
So
I know.
I think some people have gotten over 150 a couple times, but there's not been too many like dominant performances.
No. So I'm hoping, to squeak by. I don't care if I win by 0.5 of a point, as long as I win.
Yes, exactly. You got a good start,
see.
as long as I think you just got to stay active, make sure you're replacing people that get injured.
Yeah, that's what I did. I left one time. I left Sterling Shepard on the roster when I should have had him out when he was out.
But everybody else killed it that week.
I know everybody killed it, so I still won. So I can beat
Mason.
people. Yeah. I can beat people
Mason.
how many people we play? 6 or 7?
7 total.
7. So I beat people with 6. My team was good enough to beat people with 6. I might try that the rest of the season.
Yeah,
I think I could do it with
the rest
my
of your
team.
team just steps up.
That's right. That's right. So but we'll see. I have some people down this week, and I had to replace a few people. So I don't know how well we'll perform this week, but we'll see.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think you got a pretty solid team. Mm-hmm. But just dealing with those injuries like everybody else right now.
No. Yeah, it's at that time of season, 6, this will be the 7th week into it. There's those injuries come around. Some of them catastrophic. But yeah, I mean, you just got to try to find those little diamonds in the rough, that are going to come and take over for those players, take up the slack for those players that are going to be out. So
definitely. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thanks for telling us about your team, Dad. Really appreciate that.
Sure.
I got one last question for you, and it's about your teams. You got the Falcons and the Chargers.
Yeah.
One seems to be doing a little better than the other one.
Yeah.
How are you feeling so far this year?
Well, my Chargers are doing well. I love Herbert, the quarterback. We didn't have a good game last week against the Ravens. We sort of stunk, but I sort of knew that was going to happen because even when I was there, it's hard for us to go from San Diego West Coast all the way to the East Coast and put together a good showing. So I sort of knew that would happen a little bit, but overall I think they've done pretty well. We need to shore some things up on defense, I think, with the Chargers. But otherwise, I think they're going to be right there in the hunt down the stretch for the AFC West, and I think they should still make the playoffs and be fine. Now, as far as my other team, the Atlanta Falcons, okay, that's sort of a travesty right now. Matt Ryan, doesn't have the, Julio Jones anymore and some of the good skilled players that he's had in the past, So they're struggling right now. Defensively, they've been struggling a lot over the last several years, So they're not going to play any part in the playoff situation, I don't think, this year. But hopefully, they can build back up to where they were a few years ago, or they gave a Super Bowl to New England, about 5 years ago. So
that's still got to burn.
It's still, it's hard to recover from something like that, which we see happen so many times to some of those teams. They make it there and they're runner up, and then you don't see them for a while, and for them to lose the way they did, it's even worse, So they sort of dwelled on it a little bit, I think,
Yeah, they got to rebuild a little bit, get a little bit more talent. They got Kyle Pitts there, so maybe they can get him going.
Yeah.
I do think they're going to need another wide receiver besides Calvin Ridley. Yeah. Their running backs are like okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I agree with you about their defense. And, I mean, you know more about NFL defenses than I. So if my dad says they're not that good, they're probably not that good.
They people don't undervalue defenses in the NFL. if you got a good defense, and if you definitely have just a better than average, I'd say, offense, then you're going to be a viable team. But that defense, if you can't get stops and get the ball back to your offense, you're not going to be successful. Sometimes it'll be a shootout, but most of the time, especially when it gets to playoff situations, if you don't have a defense, there's no way that you're going to make it to the Super Bowl.
And it's colder too.
Yeah.
Think about the Bucks.
Uh-huh.
When the Packers won the Super Bowl, we had a top 10 defense that year.
Yeah.
And since then, when we've let our defense kind of go,
Yeah,
we've been
yeah.
trying. We've been
I
putting
know,
a lot of
I
picks
know.
into our defense,
Yeah.
but we can't really get together a good
Yeah,
defense
yeah.
to complement our offense.
And then that's the struggle. If you can't put pressure on the quarterback, you don't really truly have a chance in this league.
Especially if it's a guy like Tom Brady.
Yeah,
He'll pick you
he'll-
apart.
or Mahomes or anything.
Yeah.
And the team that can do that, if you have somebody that can, and you just need one real good one, really, and then other people will benefit from that on the line. You had Shaq Barrett last year just going crazy.
Right.
And then they had two with JPP. Teams that have pass rushers usually have a pretty good team, especially if you have just like I said, a little bit better than average offense. You got a good chance to win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And teams that don't have a defense and they have all the offense in the world, they don't have a chance to win the Super Bowl.
Look at the Chiefs so far this year. They've been having a hard time winning games because their defense can't stop a nosebleed.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, like the Bills, they're real tough. They're going to be tough to beat because they have both of them, They can't let Derrick Henry run all over them like he did, but, they have a good defense. They have a number one defense and the number one offense,
That'd be interesting if they make it to the playoffs, a little colder, and then
they're
play each other
used to
again.
that. They're used to that cold. So
it's gonna be like mainly running. Once it gets later, Derrick
Yeah.
Henry's running so well.
yeah, the better team. The better team on Monday night was the Buffalo Bills, but it was such that when they let Henry get off like that, then everything else is gonna work.
Yeah.
Tannehill even looks good. Your guy even looks good in that situation,
Tannehill's pretty good.
Yeah, I
He's
don't know
pretty
about
good.
that. Derrick Henry makes him look good.
That's probably a lot of it.
Because play action can work good when you can when you have somebody like that in the backfield. So, but teams that don't have defenses don't count on them going deep into the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Dad, for
Welcome.
all of your insights coming on the show.
Yep. I enjoyed it, and good luck to you in the deep league.
Yeah,
okay?
I'm coming.
I'm hoping
for
to win it.
everybody.
Okay, I'm hoping to win it.
I'm looking to body everybody.
Oh, well.
I come across.
Good luck. You don't have the defense that I have. Okay?
Oh yeah. Awesome. Well, we're gonna go back to Mason and Tedder here, and we're gonna be saying goodbye to you. Thanks, Dad.
Thank you.
You want to say anything else to the people before we?
Hey,
get
good
off?
luck to my other participants out there. I hope you guys can get second.
All right. Go deep. All right, I want to thank Galand Thaxton, Papa Thaxton, for coming in and doing an interview.
Papa T.
Super awesome of you to do that, Dad. We just want to ask you to follow our social medias if you'd like. We'd really appreciate that. I think they're down here somewhere. I don't know. They're around here. So yeah, please, if you want to show us some more support, we really appreciate it.
Please do.
And good luck. Don't give up, even if you got a losing record. See
you
you next week, fam.